It's the worst possible time of the year. We know what time of the year it is. It never gets any easier. Actually, I should take that back. It does get easier to bear it. But the evil spirit that is surrounded by Christmas, or often known as the Christmas spirit, what is that? Y'all, it's right in the name Santa. Satan. It's the whole reason why he comes down from a chimney. It is not the most wonderful time of the year. It is the most deceiving time of the year. It is the most satanic, worse than Halloween time of the year. And yes, I can say that because it's true. There is no known fact of our Mashiach's birthday. Not in historical documents. Not in this historical document. Christmas was my most favorite time of the year, like most of us. I loved it. I got ready for Christmas in November. And the family would be like they absolutely hated getting ready for it. They dreaded it. The whole entire house would get a makeover. We would be a winter wonderland everywhere we went, and I'd be like, because it's a spirit. Many people are like, we can't give up Christmas, Rivka. Our family gets together. This is like the only time of the year where our family just gets together. And it's like, you can't get together any time of the year. You can't go and make another meaningful day of memories. You gotta just do it on Christmas. Not only is it pagan, and it comes from the Druids. That's where it actually comes from Druid tradition, as well as Halloween. Let's tell you something right there. It's just demonic. The ho, ho, ho. Literally, when they would have plays, they would have the Santa Claus would come out on the stage, and they knew this back in those days. Santa Claus would, and then Krampus would be the one that would come out and say ho ho ho. Krampus was a demonic figure as well as Santa. They paint Santa to be like this amazing hero. I'm trying not to be all hands because I can't stand that when you're watching someone and they're like it's like gotta keep my hands down. I'm just gonna keep my hands like this. And he would come onto the stage with his elves, known as demons, with a long chain. Well, who else had a long chain? It's written in the word that death, the chain of death, legit had a chain that he would drag with keys. So, I mean, the truth is there in front of our face. We just need to be aware of it, and it's really hard. Cognitive dissonance is hard. Letting go of these emotional attachments is really hard. Half my family still does it, and to my displeasure, I gotta allow Father to just water those seeds. I gotta trust that Father is going to open their eyes. I will not participate. My husband and I are under the agreement that there will be no Christmas celebrated in my house, that he would go to his mom's house and do it. So there's no decorations and no trees being dragged into the house and decorated with silver and gold and fastened with a nail so it don't topple. Jeremiah 10, which is actually speaking about carved images from a tree, but is the same concept. If you really, I mean, come on. This is like the modern concept of an idol. And decorating it with the balls now in Europe, they would put the Christmas tree outside. See, that pagans understand that the tree doesn't go inside, the Yule log goes inside, and the tree goes outside on their porch, right just adjacent to their door, and or not adjacent, but to the side of their door, and they would put all kinds of things on that tree. Some people would kill their babies and sever the heads off those babies and hang the heads on the tree. Where do you think we get the red balls from? The Christmas balls. I mean, you'll never look at a Christmas ball ever again the same. I guarantee you. Look it up. This is well known, and the Vatican, they absolutely know the truth of Christmas. They worship Lucifer. Catholicism is worship of Lucifer. And, I mean, it's right in front of your face. For real. They have the Babylonian hats. I mean, it's right in front of your face. But, causative dissonance is a real thing. You know, it's like you took the best drug and you're just completely gone in high until Father removes that veil and it like just lifts that drug off of you, and you're like, and once you wake up, you just can't even unsee it or unknow it, and then you get sick because you are now getting a new heart. This is born from above. You're getting Father's heart. And Father's heart does not like idolatry. Idolatry is of the world. You get a choice. Father gives you that choice. And his people shall not do these things. You cannot mix the holy with the profane. You just can't do that. So the world does that, but we're not supposed to act like the world. We're not supposed to be like that. So I just felt led to read Romans 1. And then this message came out beforehand, so I believe that is Ruach, because I asked Father to give me his wisdom. I know this is hard. A lot of us have been chipping away at this walk for quite a long time, some of us longer. I have a brother who's been in it for 22 years, walking with Yah. I have been walking with Yah for almost 7, I think, and like 100% walking with him, almost 5.5 years. Because it took me causative dissonance. Like, I would be like, nah. And I was learning about Christmas, and, I was weighing it, and we were still, like, going to this church. It's called Friendship Baptist Church. It's local to where I live. And, oh man, they had Christmas trees and all kinds of things in the church. And I just remember sitting down and I'm looking at this and I'm just like, I know what I've been being told, and this is not sitting right with me. And I'm listening to the message and I'm listening to the music. The music is very Santa Claus and Jesus and his birthday, and I'm just like, it's very weird, And I weighed that option for almost 1.5 years, and then I finally was like, I saw a video, and it just finally was like, yep. And I literally I gathered everything that I had that was possibly Christmas and Jesus and just everything. And mistletoes, garland, like anything you could possibly imagine. And I threw it out. My neighbors were so happy. I should have burnt it, But I threw it out, and my neighbors came over, and they were like picking through it, and I was like, no, 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 no. I'm like, this is paganism. Like, I went off. Like, it just started flying out of me, and I'm telling them all that I know, and the son was like, no, you're wrong. This is Jesus' birthday. And I was like, show me where in the word does it say that Jesus' birthday is December 25th. But I can show you Tammuz, Mithra, all of them. All of the Grecian gods, so to speak, Egyptian gods, Baal gods, all of them, right? They're all the same. They're just different names. Are December 25th. And then you think, well, why would they put Jesus on December 25th? Jesus. Listen to the word. Jesus. Listen to the word. I am a truth giver, even at the expense of people leaving me, laughing at me, stalking me. I've had it all. I've had my 10 Commandments literally ripped off my house. I had someone stalking me one night, banging on doors. My husband was away. Actually, he was in the hospital. And I pulled my gun out, and I had it ready. And I went outside, and there was nothing. But we saw an image outside of our door, because I have like a glass in front of my door. And it was winter, and there was snow, and there was feet prints. There was bigger feet prints than ours. And my husband is in the hospital, and this was fresh snow. So we called the police. They came and they looked, and they couldn't find anything. And then it happened again. As soon as he left, it happened again. Do-do-do-do-do-do. Downstairs, my back door in the cellar. And he was literally just like 4 houses this way when I called, and I said, they're back. And he come running, this cop, I love this cop. He came running, and he ran through my house, and he knew exactly where to go because I already showed him. And he was like, stay in this house. He checked my shed. The shed door was open. Nothing was taken. The next day, I'm sweeping off the front porch because I'm a Southern girl, and we sweep snow. Okay? It's just, that's how it is. Anyways, and I turn around and I noticed that my 10 Commandments were gone. Like, they were just taken off my house. I can't tell you like how violating it feels to have my commandments ripped. And I had them written in Ivrit and also English. So people would come to the house and read the Ivrit. They'd be like, huh? So they could know what it is in English. I spent a lot of time on that. I now have 2 slate. They're like this, and they're folded kind of like out like that. And they have the 10 Commandments, 5 on one, 5 on the other, in English, screwed into my house. So they would have to take a screw gun and get that out, and we would hear it. So it's just, when you stand up for Father and His truth, expect people to come after you. Expect it. Expect laughter. Expect anger. Especially this time of the year. People go crazy. It's the spirit of Christmas. They think you're nuts. You mean you're not going to buy me a Christmas gift? Because that's literally what it's about. Buy you a Christmas gift so you can complain about it, not be happy, stand in line and return it, take that money and buy something that you like, only to hate it eventually and complain. Like, it's so commercialized, it's disgusting. Even if it wasn't pagan, it's the most commercialized holiday. Holly Day. Holly is a magical stick to do magic. And that's where Hollywood comes from. The Hollywood is how they would cast their spells. Christmas is a spell, you guys. They cast the spell on you. And that's what it's all about. So let's read Romans 1. Shaul, servant of Yahushua Mashiach, and called emissary, separated to the good news of Elohim, which he promised before through his prophets in the set-apart scriptures, concerning his son, who came of the seed of David, according to the flesh, who was designated son of Elohim with power, according to the set-apart Ruach, spirit, by the resurrection from the dead. Yahushua Mashiach, the master of us, through whom we have received favor and office of the emissary for belief and obedience among all the nations on behalf of his name, among whom you also are the called ones. Among whom you also are you are also called. Let me redo that. Among whom you also are the called ones of Yahushua Messiah. So he's saying here that you too also are called to do what Shaul, Paul, did. We are called to literally go and snatch people from the fire, give them the set apart message, and like move on and keep doing it, you know, until we are called home. You know, like that's literally what we're supposed to be doing. That should be our number one, putting Messiah first, right? Over our family. For those who find their life will lose it, and for those who lose their life for him, for our Messiah, will find it. For anyone who loves their mother, brother, or sister more than me is not worthy of me. I said that backwards, but that's what it says. It's not that he is all into himself and he's a dictator. It's that he's saying that not everyone can do this. There are many that are called, but few are chosen for it. Those who are chosen, those are the chosen seeds. Those are the ones that are going to do it. They're all in until death. They will literally lay their life down for this message. Because it's truth. And there's and it's tangible. To all who are in Rome, beloved of the Elohim, called set apart ones, favor to you and shalom, peace from Elohim, our Father, and the Master Yahushua Mashiach. First, I truly thank my Elohim through Yahushua the Messiah for you all, that your belief is spoken of in all the world. Is your belief so powerful that people speak about it? It should be. For Elohim is my witness, whom I serve with my Ruach in the good news of his Son, how unceasingly I make mention of you. Always asking in my prayers, if at all possible, I shall be baruched, blessed by the desire of Elohim to come to you. For I long to see you, so as to impart some spiritual gift to you, for you to be established, and that is, to be encouraged together among you, each by the other's belief, both yours and mine. So your belief and my belief should be encouraging to one another. We should all be encouraged consistently through our beliefs. Our belief is so powerful, y'all. And I do not wish you to be unaware, brothers, that I often proposed to come to you, but was hindered until now, in order to have some fruit among you, as also among the other nations. I am a debtor both to Greeks and to foreigners, both to wise and to foolish. That is why I am so eager to bring the good news also to you who are in Rome. For I am not ashamed of the good news of Mashiach, For it is the power of Elohim for deliverance to everyone who believes, to the Yehudi first, and also to the Greek, to the nations. For in the righteousness of Elohim is revealed from belief to belief, as it has been written, but the righteous shall live by belief. That was my husband that you saw in the background. For the wrath of Elohim is revealed from heaven against all wickedness and unrighteousness of men, who suppress the truth in unrighteousness. Did you hear that? I mean, seriously. Because that which is known of Elohim is manifest among them. It's known. They know. It's manifested in front of them. They see it. They just choose to love their sin more than Father. And man-made traditions. Their heart so far from them, or so far from Him. Because that which is known of Elohim is manifest among them, for Elohim has manifested it to them. Because Father is not going to remove your Ruach and stand before Him and have an answer from the person that He removed his Ruach from, the breath of life from, that everyone receives in their nostrils. Like, they're not going to be able to say, I didn't know. No, He makes sure everybody knows. Either He sends people or He shows you. I mean, ask the earth and she will reveal it to you. I mean, come on, it's here. It's right before us. We can't even deny it. Truth is truth, right? For since the creation of the world, His invisible qualities have been clearly seen, being understood from what has been made, both His everlasting power and mightiness, for them to be without excuse. Without excuse. Because although they knew Elohim, they did not esteem Him as the Elohim, nor gave thanks, but became vain in their reasonings, and their undiscerning heart was darkened. Claiming to be wise, they became fools, and changed the esteem of the incorruptible, Elohim into the likeness of an image of corruptible man. Who else has an image? Or who else has been given an image and another name? Religion gives you the image of this white dude with blonde hair and blue eyes called a Jesus. The warning in Revelation is to not do that. The warning in Shemot 20, Exodus 20, which is the commandments, and Deuteronomy chapter 5, is to not make an image of anything and worship it. Not in the Shamayim, the heavens, or the Eretz, the earth, or even in the waters below. Nothing. We don't act like the nations. We don't worship that way. Yet we have crosses and fish and images of Jesus and then these supposed saints. No, we don't worship that way. We don't light candles. We don't burn incense. We don't, and pray. We don't burn incense and pray. We don't do these things. We don't do strange odors before the Most High. He says not to. Not to. I mean, when they would make an altar, they would literally have to make it without hewn stones. It would have to be just as is. Because the nations would make steps up to the top of their altars, because each one of those steps was an ascension into that Elohim or God that they served. Like the Freemasons, they have steps, right? Got to get to the 33 degree, which is also linked to so many things. Like you sit at a church and you watch the pastors. How many steps are they? They are 2 steps or 3 steps up. That tells you that they are Freemasons In order to be a Freemason, you just got to believe in something. You don't know and you are not enlightened until you become a 33-degree Mason. That's when you realize you have been serving Lucifer the entire time in the Mason cult or occult. So a lot of these pastors, and just every single one of them just about, that, I'm sorry, this may offend you, that you go and listen to, that are giving you this word through theology, which is a lie. It's in the word theology. It's a lie. It's their idea, right? They're just thinking of something that it could possibly be. It was some man who was like, that's what it means. Let's teach it. No, that's Rothschild. Rothschild did that. But when you look at the steps of the Freemasonry, you also see like what each one of these steps mean. Now, in a Baptist church, a pastor is 2 steps up. In actually 2 to 3 steps up, which will tell you what their tier is on the Freemasonry agenda, like where they are at. They haven't sacrificed anything. They're not drinking blood, but they did take oaths with blindfolds on. They did these. They have to do that. It's like the first step that you do. You are literally serving in a cult. And the religious entity is the sister of that occult. And it came from the beast, which is the Roman Catholic Church, Catholicism, and she had sisters called religion. And so when you're enlightened with these things, the whole audience is literally below those steps because they are not Freemasons. They cannot be on the top of those steps. It's true. Look into it. Look into it. It's very disgusting. Very disgusting. And a lot of these enterprises are called 501c3 churches are very heavily involved in the trafficking of children. So, therefore Elohim gave them up to uncleanness in the lust of their hearts, to disrespect their bodies among themselves, who changed the truth of Elohim into falsehood, and worshipped and served what was created rather than the Creator, who is Baruch, or blessed forever. Amen. Because of this, Elohim gave them over to degrading passions. For even their women exchange natural relations for what is against nature. And likewise, the men also, having left natural relations with women, burned in their lust for one another, men with men, committing indecency and receiving back the reward which was due for their straying. So do you see? This is Father allowing it to happen, giving them over to the lust in their heart. You want to play with my word? You want to play around with my truth? You want to then now go and teach it to your parish from the pulpit? Because while you're pulling these people called the parish, they are perishing into the pit. Blind, leading the blind into the pit. Liars, deceivers, wolves in sheep clothing. And even as they did not think it worthwhile to possess the knowledge of Elohim, for my people die for a lack of knowledge, Elohim gave them over to a worthless mind. A worthless mind. To do what is improper. What do you see in the world? This is the culmination of all these centuries, all these decades of people just doing what they want, feeding the flock with crap and lust and adultery and sexual immorality and holidays, celebrations, and saying it's for the Most High, when in fact they're actually worshiping Hashatan, Lucifer. They're worshiping devils, and they're worshiping their creator, who isn't the creator of evil, Lucifer. And even as they did not think it worthwhile to possess the knowledge of Elohim, Elohim gave them over to worthless mind to do what was improper. Having been filled with all unrighteousness, whoring, wickedness, greed, evil, filled with envy, murder, fighting, deceit, evil habits, and whisperers. It's not over. Slanderers, haters of Elohim, insolent, proud, boasters, devisers of evil, disobedient to parents. We are at the culmination of this. Without discernment, covenant breakers, unloving, unforgiving, ruthless, who, though they know the righteousness of Elohim, that those who practice such deserve death. What brings death? Committing sin. What is sin? Transgression the commandments. Transgressing the commandments. Anything that's against those commands, the 10. That is sin. Without a new heart being born from above, it's impossible for you to spiritually keep it, because you can outwardly look like you're not committing murder, and you may not even commit murder or adultery or stealing or coveting, or maybe even not even making images and worshiping those images, and you may even be keeping Sabbath. But without the heart of Father, without Him giving you a new heart, you're not born from above, and you don't enter in. That's the bottom line. That is what our Messiah said to Nicodemus, as you know him. You need to be born from above to even understand. You need to be born from above to change. And it's miraculous. The most evil of people can be born from above if they truly repent, weeping, crying out with their heart just torn open. Why? Because Father needs you to repent. He needs to hear that. That heart needs to be like bleeding before Him. It's how it works. The world has a stony heart. It's not true. It doesn't repent. And if it says it repents, it's not doing anything, and it's doing the same thing over and over and over. And what's the definition of insanity? Doing the same thing over and over, expecting a different result. That is what this world is doing. And those who practice such deserve death. Not only do the same, but also approve of those who practice them. So they're okay with other people doing it. That's why they sit in a building that's called a church, and they're okay. They're like, woo! It's actually the worst time of the year. And it has nothing to do with the true Son of the Most High. But it has everything to do with the false son of Lucifer. Let that sink in. He mimics everything. I love you. Hang in there. It's hard. A lot of us, like I say, like my house is just, we're divided, but Father gives us strength. Father allows us to have shalom, even when we're looking at disgustingness. Let us keep walking in Him and show His good works and entice those around us to join in by just simply viewing what we're doing. If you're anything like me, you screwed that up with your zealousness. But Father always gives us a second chance. It's a clean slate every time we wake up the next day. So do it. Be the change you wish to see in this world. I love you. Shalom, shalom.